Hi guys, this is Vineet, and in this video we will discuss about inline table valued user defined functions. So basically these functions are similar to the views as they are based on the single query. So these functions use only the single query inside its body and not the multiple queries. And unlike views, these functions support input parameters. So basically what are the properties of views? Views does not support any input parameters. By that I mean that when we call view or when we execute view, we basically cannot pass some parameters or the input parameters to the views, but to function we can provide input parameters, and on the basis of those input parameters, a function can use those input parameters and do some computation on them and return some value out to the calling query. And we can also think of these functions as parameterized views. So in other words, we can say that these are views, but yeah, parameters can be used along with these views. So these are called inline user defined functions. The reason why we call them inline is because at the runtime SQL Server inlines or expands the code or the query definition against the underlying tables. So basically by that we mean that whenever a function is called from a query, SQL Server basically expand the code of the function then and there within the SQL query itself. Instead of making a call, it just expands the function then and there. So no use of stacks here, stack constructs here. And let's take a view at the orders table. And this is from the Northwind database. It has various fields where the order ID is the primary key. So by using this table we are going through one of the examples. So from this table we will be using some of the columns like order ID, order date, customer ID and employee ID, and we can find this table within the Northwind database, and we have to write certain code in the query window. So in order to write that code I need to start up my virtual machine where I can write this code. So opening that up, alright, so VMware Workstation Player is up, and let me boot up my DB machine. Let's wait for it to come back and I will get back to you. Alright, the machine is on the login screen, and let me log in into the system. Okay, in the meantime it's booting up and coming up on the desktop. Let me go ahead and review this query which we will write. So basically we are using create or alter function statement, not the table one. So basically we are creating a function or altering a function, and the function name is rows by page, and it is taking two arguments or parameters, which is p number or page number as integer and page size as integer. Two variables are there, and basically this query returns the this function returns a table. And here we are defining the body, which starts with s, and we are using return statement, and it is returning whatever is after the return statement. So here we are taking one of the CTE or common table expressions. You may watch my other videos to see what the common table expressions are. So here B is the common table expression. We are defining B as, we are selecting a row number function, we are calling row number function over order by order date and order ID. So it basically sequences the result by order date and then by order ID, and it takes the row number according to that. For more information on this particular function, you may refer to the Microsoft TechNet or Microsoft Documents to get more information on this function. Alright, so first column is we are taking this column as R number or row number, and the second column is order ID, third column is order date, then customer ID, then employee ID from the orders table. Alright, so this creates the BCTE or common table expression, and immediately after the common table expression we use the query to get the data out of common table expression. So here we are using select table, and we are selecting the first column, R number, then the second, third, fourth, fifth column till employee ID from B, which is a common table expression as defined here. And here we are defining that a row number should be between page number -1 into page size +1 and page number into page size. So basically what this means is, basically we are getting certain page number, and a page number consists of certain number of rows. So for example, if we call this function by 410, what it will take is 4 minus 1, which is equal to 3 into page size, which is 10. 10 plus 1 is 11. So 3 into 11 is, so let me take it here. So it is 3, and 10 plus 1 is 11. 3 into 11, 33. It takes rows number between 33 and 4 into 10, 33 and 40. Alright, so 4 into 10 is 40. 33 and 40 it takes. So let me discuss that again, because my earlier discussion was not correct. So if we execute this function taking 4 and 10 as the page number and the page size option, so what it will do is it will basically perform multiply operation first. So let me make it more, one sec, let me make it more clear with the bracket, otherwise we will get confused. So we need to put bracket here and put a bracket here. Alright, and so now let's compute the values. So it will take 4 minus 1, which is equal to 3, multiplied by page size, which is 10. 3 into 10 is 30, and 30 plus 1 is 31. So it will take rows number between 31 and 40. So basically we can run this query to get this particular result, and we are typing select star from calling the function name, which is db.rows by page. And while creating the function, we must have to specify the schema name along with the function name, otherwise it gives you error message and does not create the function. So here we are selecting star from dbo rows by page. 4 is the page number, 10 is the number of rows to be returned from that page. So basically means 31 to 40, and basically this function is returning a table. So we are taking this particular function as table because this table is returning table, so we need to specify certain variables. So table will be a variable here which holds this particular table returned by this particular function. And when we execute this query, this generates the following output, which is row number 31 till row number 14 with all the details requested, which is order ID, order date, customer ID, and the employee ID. So let us go ahead and write this code. So viewers, I would suggest not just reading the query. You can get expert on writing queries only by writing actual code inside the SQL Server and not just reading it. So let's go ahead, and what we'll do is we'll write this function again in SQL Server. So let me go ahead and quickly close this server manager and open up SQL Server Management Studio. So again, the table name is orders table. Alright, so we'll create a function. So SQL Server Management Studio is starting up. Let's wait for it to come up. So guys, SQL Server Management Studio is up and it is asking us to log in into the server. So I've clicked on connect and it will show the items in the Object Explorer on the left hand side. This is our server name, and let's expand the database, select the Northwind database and write a new query. So let's begin. You may also start writing query at the same time. If you guys don't have Northwind database, you can watch out my other videos to see how you can put Northwind database inside your SQL Server. So basically there is a script which you can execute to create this Northwind database, and this database consists of order table which we will use in this query. So begin writing this query at the same time I'm writing this. So it is starting with create or alter. Let me check. So the syntax begins with create or alter. Function dbo dot, what is the function name? Let's quickly check. Maybe we can use whatever name you like. So here we are using dbo rows by page, and we are taking two parameters. So p number is the page number as int, and p size as int. Let me check whether the syntax is correct. Alright, so we have taken two parameters. This function will take two parameters, page number and page size. Alright, and we need to specify the return type after this. So this function returns a table. Now we have to define function body as, and after that we need to specify whatever it has to return. So here we are specifying one CTE first. So in order to create a CTE, you need to type with BS or whatever name you like. Instead of B you can put it that way, and you need to start specifying the CTE definition. So what the CTE is doing is basically it is selecting it is using row number function. So row number, you need to specify braces, and then you need to specify the over clause, over, and after over you need to specify the ordering over which a row number will get printed. So we are ordering by order date and the order ID. And we are taking this column as R number. Second column we are taking is, let's see what four columns are we taking. We're taking order ID, order date, customer ID, employee ID. So order ID, order date, customer ID, customer date. Then you need to specify the from clause. From orders table we are taking these values. So this is not customer date. Let me see, what is this? Customer ID and employee ID. Fourth column is employee ID from the orders table, and our CD is defined here. Now immediately after that we'll start using the CD. So we will begin with select statement, whatever we need to select. So we are selecting our number and the remaining 4 columns. So you may copy that, or maybe you can write it if you like. So put it like this, and from BCD, and here we are specifying the criteria, what all particular rows we need to select from the CD. Generally CD contains more number of rows, and here we are selecting subset of rows in this query. So here we are specifying our number between. So what was that? P number -1 into P size +1, and the rest is P number into P size. These are the two input parameters which we are using. So we are almost done with defining the function. So this is done. You may specify the semicolon to indicate this is completed. Statement is terminated, it's a single statement, and put a go along with that. So let's execute this statement to see whether it is executing fine. So it has given us some errors. So in the return statement, let's see. So basically it's not returns, it returns. You need to put s. So whatever it returns, the function returns, you need to put returns. And whenever you are actually returning a value, just use the return keyword. So let's execute it. It is executed, but with some error near go statement. So yeah, along with go, this was not required, so you may remove that and again execute it. So this time the query executed fine. And if we expand the Northwind database and go inside the programmability section, you will see this function. Go to the function section, and this is a table valued function, not a scalar function. Scalar functions generally returns a single value, but here we are returning table, so it is a table valued function, and under that we see our table is created, and we can close that. We don't want to save the query. And in order to view the definition of the function, we can right click on that function and click on modify. It gives us the syntax whatever we have written a few minutes back for that particular function. So now what we can do is we are going ahead and calling this particular function return us the 10 rows from the fourth page. So basically this query. So first page contains basically rows 1 from 10, second page contains 11 to 20, third page contains 31 to so rightly if we take this, so first page contains rows 0 from 10, 0 to 10. The second page contains 11 to 20. Third page contains 21 to 30. whole page contains 31 to 40. So yeah, that is correct. So let me show you how you can call this function which we have just created. So write down the query, select we are returning all the columns from function dbu. What is the function name over here? Let me check again. dbu rows per page. So put rows per page, and we are specifying the input parameters. Return us the 10 rows from the fourth page. Alright, let's see whether we have to put anything else apart from that. Let's just execute it. We don't need to specify. Yes, it is just returning us the table with 10 rows from the fourth page, and these are the other columns containing values: order ID, order date, customer ID, and employee ID. So yeah, we are done till here. Now let me take you through example 2. Basically it is stating that we can write the same function, which is this, by using the offset fetch option. So let's quickly review the code, then we will write the code inside the SQL Server. So basically it is using the same syntax: create or alter function, rows per page, taking two parameters, page number as integer and page size as integer, and it returns table as return. And here we are selecting, here we are not creating a CTE, but just directly creating whatever the content that was inside the CTE earlier. So we are selecting row number over the order by order date and order ID column as R number, order ID, order date, customer ID, employee ID from the orders table. And after that we need to specify the order by clause. This is compulsory, otherwise this query will give you error. So we are taking these. So basically this order by clause is for ordering or marking the rows with row number, and this order by clause is to basically returns the rows from the table in a sort order specified by order date and order ID. So we got these number of rows, and from that rows we can offset it by page number -1 into page size. Let me see whether this is correct. Yeah, we need to specify brackets properly, so let me put that for you. So one bracket is required here to be more clear. So what we were doing earlier is we were doing same thing: page number -1 into page size, and it will skip that many number of rows first. So offset is to skip certain number of rows. So basically it will skip what if we pass on 4 10, what it will skip is 4 minus 1 3 3 into 10, 30 rows it will skip. So it will start from 31, and it will from 31 it will fetch next page size, next 10 rows. From 31 it fetches next 10 rows up till 40, and fetch next p size rows only. So, and we can call this function again as table is not required. So let's write this function quickly. So write this function with me. I'm going ahead and writing the same function: create or alter function dbu dot rows by page, and we are specifying two parameters: p number as integer and p size as integer. And then we need to specify what it returns. It returns a table as, and we're just specifying the return clause, whatever it is returning. So it is returning select row number over order by order date, order ID as R number, Then what is the next column? Order ID, order date, and what are the next two columns? Order ID, order date, customer ID, and employee ID. So customer ID and employee ID. From which table? From orders table. Okay. And then we need to specify order by clause. We are ordering by order date in the same order we are taking order date and along with order ID in ascending order. And from that data we are using the offset clause. So offset how many number of rows, so we need to specify the parameters p number minus 1 into p size. So we are offsetting this rows and fetching next let me see whether the syntax is correct. So offset, there is my number of rows, fetch next p size rows only. So yeah, the syntax is correct, the function is finished over here, so put a semicolon and execute this function. This is executing fine. So let me call this function from a select query. Select star from DBO rows per page, and we are putting page number 4 and return 10 rows from there. So I think I put comma, that's why it's giving error. So yeah, I put it back in a period sign instead of comma, and it has to return row number 31st till 40 and the data along with that. So yeah, this was a inline table value function. Inline table valued function, or the user defined function. And we saw that these type of functions use the single query. Here we have used single query. The benefit of using this function is that the code expands inline instead of making a call to the function. The code expands inline as a part of the query and the execution takes place. Alright, so yeah, we are done here with writing code, and we are done with this section, which was about inline table valued user defined functions. So guys, do like this video, comment on this video, and you may subscribe to my channel to get the update on latest videos. Hit the bell icon to get the updates. Thank you.